Hey, I'm Xinya and I've prepared a travel itinerary for first-time Beijing visitors. This video covers daily spots with details on access and costs. All locations are within walking distance of each other. Day 1. We start at CC Metro Station. All key spots are near this station. Every location is within easy walking distance. First up, we'll check out the hutongs. Hutongs are Beijing's cultural heritage, a network of narrow alleys in traditional neighborhoods formed during the Yuan, Ming, and Qing dynasties. They form a ring around the Forbidden City. This is essentially what old Beijing looked like. Hutongs were mainly inhabited by noble families, imperial court officials, and wealthy merchants. Today, many hutongs are tourist zones with shops, cafes, and galleries, but some remain residential areas. You can explore the hutongs for about an hour. Next, visit Guangji Temple, an ancient Buddhist temple built in 1442 during the Ming Dynasty. This temple is known for its bronze Buddha statues and rich architectural design. There's an entrance fee. The temple is small but quite interesting. I'd recommend spending about half an hour at this temple. Make sure to visit the temple. This is truly a unique place, blending Catholic and Chinese architecture. At the entrance, you'll see traditional Chinese guardian lions. A lioness with her cubs symbolizes motherhood and family protection, while a lion with a ball represents power and strength. There are 2 gazebos at the entrance. Typically, Chinese gazebos have traditional imagery, but here you'll find biblical motifs in Chinese style. It's fascinating, but the most interesting part, inside it's a Catholic church but with a twist. The stained glass windows feature both Christian saints and Chinese temples. The Virgin Mary statue is depicted as a Chinese woman in traditional dress. It's quite unique. Entry is free, and around the church there's a small European-style town. You can spend about 40 minutes here. Next, we'll visit the Palace of Emperors, a majestic complex honoring rulers of past dynasties. You'll be amazed how few people and tourists are here. The palace is stunning, though small. Blue dominates, symbolizing heaven and divine imperial power. The symmetry struck me. 40 yuan entry fee, and you can spend 40 minutes here. Nearby, there's an interesting place, a traditional Chinese pharmacy. The ground floor has the pharmacy with traditional Chinese medicines. Doctors' offices are upstairs. The process is typical. Doctor examines patient, writes prescription filled at pharmacy below. It's fascinating to see the mix of ingredients in Chinese medicine and what's for sale. These items are very expensive. On the roof, there's a cafe with a panoramic view of the hutongs and traditional architecture. You can grab a drink and enjoy the hutong views from above. Next, we're heading to the Imperial Restaurant. I bet you've seen places like this on social media. It's a unique restaurant recreating a Tang Dynasty imperial reception. Staff wear period costumes, tables surround a U-shaped stage. The concept is while you dine on delicacies, you also enjoy a show treating you like an honored guest. The menu features tasty food, appetizers, and desserts. Creamy shrimp, plum soup, abalone, seafood soup, fish, rice, unique salad, mango pudding, unlimited tea and rice wine. Wine and entertainment include tea ceremony, dance, and poetry. The restaurant syncs dish service with theatrical performances. The 90-minute program ends with photo opportunities in the venue. Prices are high, but advance booking is necessary. I'll leave the link where I made my reservation. Just pay and enter. No additional registration required. I paid the entrance fee and provided my details. That's all. No more sign-ups. Link in description. Day 2. Let's explore Beijing's most popular spots. First, the Summer Palace, where royals escape the heat. You'll be amazed by Kunming Lake, covering most of the grounds. Make sure to climb Longevity Hill for a breathtaking view, and you'll pass through the famous Long Corridor. It's an open-air art gallery, with each beam painted with scenes from Chinese legends and stories. Get a combo ticket for access to all attractions inside. How to get there? Take Metro Line 4, exit at Beigongmen or Xiwan Station. Allow at least 3-4 hours for your visit. It's best to set aside a full day to explore thoroughly. A combo ticket for all attractions costs 60 yuan. The National Library of China nearby is the world's largest, with over 37 million items including ancient manuscripts. The most interesting part is the top floor, which has the world's largest co-working space. You can read books, use free water, or use the restroom in the library. How to get there? Take Metro Line 409, get off at National Library Station. Visit time's about half an hour. Next stop, Temple of Heaven. It's massive. Kilometer walk from entrance to temple. Don't miss the round altar where the Emperor, the Son of Heaven, held key ceremonies. The complex's crown jewel, Harvest Temple, with its iconic blue tiered roof. It's an architectural marvel, built without a single nail. The temple's often crowded, but you can book a traditional photo shoot if you'd like. How to get there? Take Metro Line 5 station, allow about 2 hours for the visit. Admission costs 35 yuan. 10-minute walk away. A stunning red theater. Don't miss the show. The world-famous Chinese circus will keep you on the edge of your seat. Tickets are 280 yuan. Show's an hour long. Arrive 30 minutes early to sort out tickets. The show went like this. First, a group of girls performed various tricks, but the most memorable was how they held a stick with their mouths. Then came a heart-stopping act. A young man stacked chairs very high and held on with one hand. Next, 2 girls performed, one standing on the other. Then a group of guys skillfully jumped through rings. Here, a guy did the impossible, this one on a bicycle. He rode on a thin rope like in movies. A crowd of girls rode one bike, followed by 6 motorcyclists circling a small ball. It was spectacular but seemed dangerous. I bought a ticket online. I'll leave a link in the description. I paid, gave my info, and just showed my passport at the entrance. Very convenient. Day 3. Today I'll be hectic. The places are also all within walking distance. In principle, you need to take subway line number 5 to the station. From the subway exit, it's just a 5-minute walk to the temple. It's Lama Temple, which is also known as Yonghegong. It's a Buddhist monastery that was the largest and most famous Buddhist temple outside of Tibet. The temple was built in 1694 and originally served as a residence for imperial princes. Today it's a stunning museum complex. The entrance fee is 25 yuan. The most impressive attraction is the gigantic 18-meter-high Buddha statue, carved from a single piece of sandalwood. In this temple, you can get prayer sticks for free. You definitely won't miss the place where you can burn them. You need to take 3 sticks at a time, make a wish, and stick them into the sand. That's how it's done. I'd spend at least an hour visiting this temple. Nearby, you'll find stunning hutongs. Next to the Lama Temple is the Grand Confucius Temple. It's one of the world's most important historical monuments dedicated to the great Chinese philosopher. For about 30 yuan, you'll see an incredible collection of ancient Confucian artifacts. Inside, there are beautiful gardens where you can relax and enjoy the tranquility. I recommend seeing the courtyard with names of top students throughout Chinese history. I'd also suggest spending an hour at the Confucius Temple, just across the street. From the Lama Temple, I suggest a 1-kilometer walk along the promenade to the bell tower. The street's lively and interesting. The tower, once a timekeeper, has a viewing deck. It was closed when I arrived. Beyond, you'll find the old walking street with many great cafes. A popular food tour kicks off. It's run by a travel agency that organizes culinary trips across China. You stroll with a local guide through hutongs. The guide shares the area's history as you sample local specialties. On this tour, I tried various Beijing snacks. First up, of course, was hot pot. You add meat and veggies to the soup pot. In Beijing-style hot pot, you cook in plain water. It's then served with sesame sauce. The key is that the meat. Then we went to a typical place in Hutongs. We tried stinky black tofu there. It's just like chips. Honestly, I don't get the hype. It was pretty cool though. Then we had amazing veggie noodles. They suggest adding chili oil. Next, our group went to a Chinese bar. We had some meat pies there. You gotta wash it down with rice vodka, 60 proof here. The last spot, you cook yourself. Tons of ingredients on the table to put in flatbread as you like. Peking duck, spicy veggies. The food tour was about 50 bucks, I think. Check the description for a link if you're interested. Day 4, we arrive at Tiananmen metro station. First, you'll see Tiananmen Square. It's the world's largest city square. It's on an incredible scale. Majestic buildings line the square's edges, including the Great Hall of the People, China's National Museum, with monuments to heroes and Mao's mausoleum at its center. The famous Tiananmen Gate stands before you, featuring a massive portrait of Mao Zedong. This gate leads to our journey's main destination, the Forbidden City. The Forbidden City, home to 24 Ming and Qing emperors for 500 years, is a world unto itself. Common people were barred from approaching these walls without special permission. The first thing that astounds is the sheer scale. 98 buildings, 9,999 rooms. Chosen purposely, as legend says, the Jade Emperor had 10,000 rooms in his heavenly palace, and the earthly ruler couldn't surpass that. Notice the red walls, golden roofs, and green tiles. Not random, red symbolizes luck and prosperity, while yellow was the imperial color. Commoners were forbidden to use yellow in clothing or architecture. Moving along the palace's central axis, you'll pass through increasingly important halls, from outer ceremonial courtyards to the emperor's private chambers. Book Forbidden City tickets in advance. There's a daily visitor limit, so reserve at least a week ahead. I did this in the Forbidden City. You can figure it out yourself, but I took a group tour. It's inexpensive. If palace entry is 60 yuan, about $9, the tour was around $18. I paid for everything, so no need to worry about registration. We met at Tiananmen Square, then were taken to the Forbidden City. They showed us the least crowded route, and I heard an interesting English lecture on imperial concubines. It was fascinating, and I recommend it to you too. It lasted 4 hours, and after the tour, you could explore on your own. I'll link the tour in the description. Day 5. Today we'll see the Great Wall of China. There are 5 tourist sections of the Great Wall. I suggest Simitai, 120 kilometers from Beijing, about a 2-hour drive. Of all the sections, this is the least crowded and least restored one. You can see the walls in their original state without people. Keep this in mind if it interests you. Also, at the foot of this Great Wall section is the ancient town of Gubei. You can stroll there. Trust me, it's one of Beijing's most beautiful spots. As a curious person who explored every corner, 4 hours was barely enough for me. Now it's a modern tourist complex, built where an old village once stood. Locals were moved to a new town nearby. In their place, they created the water town of Gubei. After sunset, lights turn on. It's stunning. Climb the pagoda across from town for a bird's eye view. Gubei was built over a river with stone bridges and docks. It was styled after Chinese architecture. Though new, it's incredibly enjoyable to visit. You can take a city tour on traditional boats for 80 yuan. Take the cable car to the wall early, see it first, then explore the city. The cable car closes at 5 p.m., so plan to see multiple sites before then. Visiting Gubei, the Great Wall and round-trip cable car costs 270 yuan per person. Bus from Dongjin Station to the ancient city and wall is 48 yuan. Honestly, I took a guided tour when I visited. The tour included bus transport, tickets, wall history, and return by 8 p.m. The tour cost about $50, which was a bit pricey. Tour link and bus schedule are in the description. Choose the option that suits you best.